Hi, my name is Wayne. Welcome to my home and my channel. It's a beautiful Southern California high desert day. Sun's out, beautiful temps outside. It's a great day to smoke some meat. So let's do that. Today I'm going to be doing some beef short ribs. They're an excellent cut of meat. It's basically a brisket on a stick because each one of them does have a bone in them, and then it sits there. And when you're done, you can eat it off the bone. It's great. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this silver skin that's on the back. It's the same stuff that's on the back of your baby back ribs, your pork ribs. You want to take off because it does not render down. It just makes your meat tough. As you can see here, it's just bad stuff. Then we're going to trim off. There's a little fat cap on top. Got the bone side, fat cap. You want to trim a lot of that fat off because most of it won't render down. And the seasonings and the smoke, you want to get into the meat. So let's do that right now. Now I've trimmed some of these down already, but I'm going to finish these up right here. It's going to take a very sharp knife, and you want to trim that fat on top without getting too much of that meat, because you want that meat, but you need some of that fat gone. So let's do that right now. You can cut right under the silver skin. You don't need to peel it off before you cut the fat off. See, this one still has silver skin on it, but I'm gonna just trim right under it and get that fat cap also. Now you can leave some of it, but some of the thicker stuff you want to get out of there because you just want some flavor, but you also want some fat. So let's cut that. Perfect. One more to go here. Same thing, right under that silver skin and fat cap. Now you do have to have a very sharp knife. You can have a butcher knife, paring knife, whatever. This is basically a Japanese hand crafted, very sharp knife. And there we go, that's good. One more little thing there. All right, good. So all this we took off. Now we're gonna season up this meat. Let's get these back together here. There we go. All right. I've seen people on the videos and recipes where they put a binder on, like mustard or oil, things like that. I like to usually just season the meat itself. I find the seasoning sticks to it. It really adds a flavor. But today I'm going to experiment. I'm going to do half these short ribs with a mustard binder. The other half, I'm going to do it the way I always do it, which is just a seasoning. So we're just going to take some regular mustard here and kind of slather it on these. Now you don't really have to do the bone side at all because you're not going to be eating the bone. So just slather that on both sides, all over. This is a new one for me. I've never used mustard. So we'll do a taste test at the end and see if it really makes that big of a difference or not. So let's, now I have 4 of them binded with mustard and the other 4 is plain. Today I'm going to be using one of my favorite rubs or seasonings for beef. It's Hay Grill Hay beef rub. It is excellent. It's garlic, salt, pepper, and a few other spices. I find it great on burgers, brisket, everything. So let's season up the mustard side. Okay, let's get that. Like I said, you don't need to season up the bone because you're not going to be eating the bone and it won't add anything to the flavor of your meat. Now don't go overboard on the seasonings because these are going to shrink up a little bit and that salt is just going to get more powerful. Now these 4, I'm just going to season like I always do. Just all sides, top, sides, ends. Kind of push that into the meat, just like that. Oh, the seasoning smells good just without cooking. Wait till it starts cooking. Okay, then we're gonna pat that in real well. Get a few spots there. There we go. Perfect, perfect. All right, now I'm gonna get this Camp Chef pellet grill smoker going up to about 225. We're gonna cook them at 225 for about 3 hours. Now, you'll notice I do have some very thicker ones and some real thin ones. You cannot cook them for the same amount of time because the little thin ones are gonna turn into just stiff beef jerky. So I'm gonna put the thicker ones on for about an hour with the lid closed. Then I'm gonna add the little thinner ones to that and smoke for about 2 more hours. Do not lift the lid, and we'll get that fired up right now. Okay, I got the pellet grill fired up. It's starting to burn. And when this gets up to about 220, 225, I'll put the ribs on. So let's give this a few minutes. All right, my pellet smoker has reached 220 degrees. Perfect. Let's get these ribs on. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna put the thicker ones on right now. And in about an hour, I'm gonna come back and add the thinner, lighter ones so they kind of cook evenly. So let's get those on. And I'm gonna keep the mustard and the rub separately so I can keep track of them. On the right, I'm gonna put just those. Let's do the thick mustard ones on this side. All right, save those, close the lid. I'll come back in an hour and put those on. Okay, I'm back. It's been 3 hours since I put these ribs on the smoker. And I'm gonna spritz them now with a little bit of beer. Just beer, any beer will work. This just happens to be an IPA, which that's what I drink. So let's spritz them a little bit. Oh, they smell so good. I'm gonna close the lid, and I'm gonna do this about every half hour to 45 minutes. So I'll see you in a bit. Now, what to have with these smoked short ribs? There's a couple of things I like. I enjoy a nice IPA or a really nice red wine. This one happens to be an Old Vine Zinfandel from California, which is kind of earthy and very, nice. The IPA I have here is from Coronado Brewing Company in San Diego. It's called Weekend Vibes. I enjoy them both with ribs, and I think you will too. Here we are. I'm back. It's been a half hour, almost 40 minutes. We're gonna hit these again with some beer spray. Oh, it smells so good. All right, close it. All right, ribs are off the grill. I've let them sit for about 45 minutes wrapped in foil. So on this side, if you remember, I have just the seasoned ribs, no base, no binder. This side is the mustard binder with the same seasoning. In the middle, I do have barbecue sauce, but I kind of prefer the plain without it. Both great though. So let's do a taste test. I'm gonna do the plain seasoning first. Beautiful little meat lollipops. Delicious. Delicious. And you can see I chose the very good Old Vine Zinfandel. Perfect. It's perfect with this. So next I'm going to try the mustard seasoning, which is I based with the mustard, same seasoning as the other ones. And look at these little meat lollipops. They're so good. Let's try this. So good. Look at that. Tender, juicy. Now, if you did wrapped them in foil the last couple hours with some beef broth or something, they probably would have been a little more tender, but I like more of a rib, kind of a steak bite. And this, with this, fantastic. But in all honesty, I cannot tell the difference between the mustard base or just the plain things. They're both great. So I'm going to try it, which I never do, with a bite of the barbecue sauce on this. Very good. Very, very, very good. These are fantastic. If you've never tried them, please do. And if you like this recipe, what I've given you, please comment below. And please subscribe to my channel because I have more videos coming. Till then, cheers.